Rajdeep, why is Rahul Gandhi so confused? 3rd of May is the last day of withdrawal of filing your nomination. 20th is the election. Just say yes or no and get on with it.
Absolutely, Rahul. It's bizarre beyond belief because the fact is that this is just one of 543 seats in the country. But because there is so much of uncertainty over it, the focus somewhere drifts away, even within the Congress party, from far more pressing issues. You've got to really face challenges across the country. In fact, in states where you're in direct fights with the BJP, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, that's where you've got to really invest your political capital. But because there's been so much of uncertainty, because you've said neither yes or no, I think Rahul Gandhi has every right to say, I don't want to contest from Amethi and I'm not contesting, but make it public. By this constant and uncertainty that you prolong till the very end, nominations end on 3rd, you're creating the sense that the Congress is confused. So I think the party or Rahul Gandhi by now should have come clean and said, look, either I am contesting, I'm going into the battle in Amethi or Raebareli, or said, sorry,
so
I have committed myself to Wayanad.
Is he fighting, not fighting?
What our sources are telling us, Rahul, is A, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is not contesting, and she's made it clear, I believe, right from the beginning, I am going to campaign for the party, I'm not contesting. Which is fair enough. You've taken a stand, and that's what you've told your party. With Rahul Gandhi, we are told that the party has been trying to convince him that they would like him to contest from Amethi and Raebareli. He's told the party, I am committed to the people of Wayanad.
So he doesn't want to fight in Amethi.
That's the sense we get, but make it public. My point is, why should it be such a top secret till the very end? Unless you've got a plan B in mind. If you've got a clear plan B in mind, where you're going to surprise the BJP.
We don't have a plan A, you're talking about
a plan B. We don't know.
B.
See, at the moment, the fact is, I think the Congress, for some reason, is still waiting for Gandhi. If you wanted to call it a book or give it a book title, Waiting for Gandhi, Waiting for Rahul, and it doesn't work to the advantage of either Rahul Gandhi or the party. It'll end the uncertainty. You can then plunge into all the other states where you believe you've got a really good chance of taking on the BJP, and don't invest all this time and energy in keeping everyone, including the media, guessing as to whether you'll contest or not. Because now, when you don't contest, if you don't contest, the BJP will say, oh, you've already given up the battle. You could have said this a month ago and said, look, we've decided this election is about 543 seats. It's not about Amethi and Raebareli. Had you done that, I think you would have ended the speculation once and for all, and you could have focused on what is your real challenge. How can you take on the BJP in direct fights in different states?
Professor Anand Raghunathan, a lot of this mess is of the Congress's own making. If the Congress and Rahul Gandhi had said a month or two before now that he only intended to fight in Wayanad and not in Amethi, there wouldn't have been any of this speculation. It's Congress sources that keep saying that their internal polls show that Rahul Gandhi is ahead of Smriti Irani and therefore RG is seriously considering it, and yet they don't tell us whether he'll fight or not. From your lens, should Rahul Gandhi take this plunge? Do you think it will be the right thing for him to do, or do you think this could be the end of his political career if he loses twice over to Smriti Irani?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, whether it is Wayanad or Amethi or Bangkok, it hardly matters. Because while Rahul Gandhi says poverty is a state of mind, Modi, for the poor, has provided 120 million toilets, 100 million gas connections, 40 million homes, 330 million health insurance card, 430 million mudra loans, 110 million tap water connections, and pulled 250 million Indians out of multidimensional poverty, while keeping inflation below 5%, unemployment below 3.2%, and Gini coefficient below 0.41. Inflation is decreasing, unemployment is decreasing, inequality is decreasing in both Wayanad and Amethi. Look, Rahul, your namesake, Rahul, is special because the fire lit by the erstwhile Congress zamindars has singed the minds of their progeny so completely that nothing grows on that charred landscape except entitlement. And let me illustrate the damage it causes with just one example. Here are the last census indices of Amethi and Raebareli, the so-called Nehru-Gandhi dynasty bastions for 60-65 years. People below poverty line, 54%. Households with electricity, 14%. Vaccinated children, 16%. Neonatal deaths, 83 per 1,000. For India, it was 28. This is what the dynasty reduced Amethi and Raebareli to. So let it be known that if the Congress lies in tatters, it is because of Rahul Gandhi. Because as long as you have a party where a man in his 50s is still called the youth leader, where he can preside over one electoral defeat after another, but is still evolving, where he can lie on an industrial scale and even apologize to Supreme Court but remains the beacon of truth, where his compatriots are more meritorious but they will never upstage him, where you indulge in tragedy porn and visit the victims of crimes in a BJP state but ignore the victims of similar crimes in a Congress state, where you keep people poor through socialism but become rich yourself, where you oppose the very farm laws that you promise in your manifesto, where you stomp on the human rights of 1 million but oppose the abrogation of 370 law that allowed it, where you and your family ban books, arrest poets, writers, journalists, storm or burn down newspaper buildings, impose the emergency, but you still claim to stand up for freedom of speech, where politics is in your shirt and your pants but your kurta pocket is torn, where you toil for an hour amid the poor and then take a week's vacation in Thailand to recover, where you demand persecuted Hindu refugees be brought to India and given citizenship when you are in power, but oppose it when you are out of power, where you haven't excelled in anything but get to decide who gets the nation's highest award, where you are responsible for the state of our poverty, but for you, poverty is a state of mind, where you hate Hindutva, but run a government with a partner that claims to love it, where you claim you will fight terrorism, but are in alliance with a party that honors the terrorist who killed your father, where you do a temple run before each election, but give blanket reservations to all Muslims in Karnataka, where you want to distribute wealth, but don't disclose how wealthy your family members are, where you propose a new parliament building when in power, but oppose it when out of power, where your party into the night in the wake of a terror attack but think fictitious saffron terror is a bigger challenge, where your founding party has split more than uranium, but you still insist it is the party of the freedom struggle, where every morning you wake up at night. So Rahul, yes, as long as you have such a party, you will always have moral victories instead of real ones. And just 10 seconds. If Rahul, as I say, was the captain of the Titanic, he'd have steered the ship all night long in search of icebergs to collide with.